Benoni defense, modern, classical, Argentine counterattack. Balanced, neither player ever had an advantage. That game was pretty competitive. Both players had an amazing opening. Opening with the queen's pawn. The Indian game begins by controlling the important e4 square with the knight, rather than a pawn. By taking control of the crucial d5 square and creating a space on which the knight can move to c3 without obstructing the c-pawn, move c4 helps to create a strong center. The d4 pawn is quickly attacked by the Benoni defense, which also creates spaces for the black queen to grow. d5 grabs more space in the center and prevents black from trading the c-pawn for the white center pawn. By attacking the d5 pawn with e6, the bishop on the dark squares can advance. c3 supports the d5 pawn and starts the fight for the e4 square. x5 creates an imbalanced center and opens up the e-file for black to use in the future. d5 recaptures the pawn on d5 and leaves the c4 square open for white pieces to use. d6 defends the e5 square and allows the light-squared bishop to develop. The e5 and d4 squares are under the control of f3, which advances the knight toward the center. The dark-squared bishop is getting ready to be fianchetto to g7, where it will sit on the long diagonal. e4 gains space in the center, defends the d5 pawn and allows the light-squared bishop to develop. By positioning the bishop on a potent diagonal, this fianchettos the bishop. b2 develops the bishop toward the center, adds a defender to the f3 knight and prepares to castle kingside. Castling gets the king out of the center and activates the rook. Castling gets the king out of the center and activates the rook. By growing a bishop from its initial square, this activates it. A pawn kicks the opposing bishop, forcing it to move or risk being captured. After all captures, this is an equal trade. This is the only move that works. Backs off. By doing this, a knight moves out of its beginning square and into the action. It is the final book action. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. It is good. Balanced, neither player ever had an advantage. That game was pretty competitive. Both players had an amazing opening.